Hello, my name is Pam Gonzalez and I will be acting as president for this presentation. Today, the Cabinet and I will take you through our recommendations for the future of Middle State College. To begin, I would like to introduce our leadership team. On the slide before you currently, you can see a listing of each member of the Cabinet and their role. In particular, I would like to draw your attention to the three roles at the bottom, our student liaison and faculty and staff representatives. The Cabinet felt very strongly that the support of students, staff, and faculty was integral to its success. With that in mind, we have instituted three members who will act as liaisons to their respective populations. They had the opportunity to provide input, but did not have voting or decision-making power. When the Cabinet first met to determine how to start addressing the myriad of concerns currently facing MSC, we decided it was paramount to consider what MSC stood for and how we were going to ensure our goals aligned. As you can see before you, the mission, vision, and core values of our institution are focused on inclusive access and retention, particularly considering our HSI status and athletic success. We believe every component of our strategic plan is student, faculty, and staff-centered. Ultimately, we considered shared governance, progress goals, prioritization, communication, and assessment in moving forward with regard to our principles. These are illustrated in the graphics before you. With all of these elements in mind, we developed an overarching president's plan, which is in some ways incremental and priority-based, and in other ways concurrent, as all Cabinet members built their individual plans within the larger plan and can work simultaneously on their goals. Please continue to follow along as I provide an overview of this plan. There are currently quite a number of concerns facing MSC. It is our belief that none of these concerns can really be addressed without revenue. As a result, our first priority is to create both direct and alternative revenue sources. As you can see, we would recommend approaching this in two ways. First, a financial review to assess current resource allocation versus current needs. Here, I would like to highlight one particular component. As president, sometimes it is my unfortunate responsibility to consider drastic and dynamic solutions. As such, I must be clear that despite the dedication of our current faculty and staff, we may not be able to retain everyone. Our goal will be efficiency without losing personal relations. One way in which we will attempt to soften the blow is by creating enough of a revenue stream to provide healthy severance packages, preference current employees to alternate positions in which they have expertise, and utilize our contacts to assist them in securing alternative positions at other institutions in the region. In addition to the review and reallocation, we are simultaneously focusing on revenue generation through increased enrollments and retention, and considering alternative revenue streams through government grants such as the HSI Education Grant, work study, utilizing the football program reinstallation creatively, and utilizing nonprofit and community resources. Each of these components will be detailed in the individual Cabinet member plans. Our second priority will be to problem solve current institutional issues. As a whole, this will occur simultaneously to the revenue generation, but incremental based on priority. The slide depicts our priorities, both headings and subheadings. Again, I would like to highlight one particular area relating to my position as president. If you look under Faculty and Staff Morale, you will see a section entitled Transparency of Plan. We hope to be transparent in our process and open to feedback and questions from various stakeholders. We consistently liaise with the stakeholders our positions are beholden to, and we hold several university versions of a town hall during the planning process. We plan on continuing to do this, as well as publishing our completed plans on the university website and soliciting feedback. Our final priority is being proactive in continuing to focus on our strengths, in particular providing access and support to ensure Hispanic student enrollment and retention, as well as focusing on supporting our sports community in their athletic, academic, and co-curricular lives. By meeting several times as a group and discussing our focus on students, we as a Cabinet determined these priorities based on what we believed would have the most effect on student morale. As such, you will notice student morale is not listed as one of these priorities. This is because we believe it exists as the overall priority and will be improved naturally as we improve each individual priority intentionally. Overall, the Cabinet worked well together, working through agreements and disagreements with a common mission. We were able to discuss our reasons and come to consensus on them, trusting that each individual person would address specific priorities within their plan. These individual plans are detailed next.
Hi there, my name is Erica, and I am the VP of Operations at Middle State College. So for our top priorities, there are a lot of things in the Middle State case study, and that's a lot of physical things that stood out. For example, leaky roofs, old paint, old buildings. So my focus and my top priorities are really meeting those needs and just improving the overall physical quality on campus. So first, in the case study, it talked about we have not done a maintenance audit in a very long time. So the first thing would be for us to complete the maintenance audit. That will need to be completed so that we have an up-to-date audit on file. Outside of that, I have arranged some top priorities that I am going to be responsible for, and this will be in conjunction with the other top priorities of our institution as a whole. So the first one is safety, and specifically safety of our students. As we were reading through this, there were a lot of things that stick out that us as the cabinet as we wanted to address quickly. So first, we talked about in the case study, we are having trouble with disposing and storing hazardous materials. So right now, we are storing them on campus and not disposing of them. So we really need to fix that change. And the whole idea behind making these changes, we're trying to come up with solutions that don't require a lot of money. So for the disposal of hazardous materials, we are thinking of using a third party or a nonprofit organization to help us properly dispose of these materials. I know in my hometown there is a place where companies can go to dispose of their hazardous materials, and it's safe, it's free. So definitely using this to our advantage. This will also bring community involvement, which we kind of really want. We want to build rapport. We want to get people excited about our campus. So that, I believe, we'll take care of that issue for right now, since we are short on funds. The second thing that we were reading in the case study is that our security and our police systems are not up to date. So this definitely is a concern with safety on campus, safety of our students. So we really want to use all of our resources and connections that we have with the local police department to get those up to date. So we want to make sure that all of our security is current, that we are in line, that we have good relationships, good rapport, good technology, good relationships with the local police department. And we also just want to make sure that our campus police officers and anyone else involved in security, for example, if we have students involved in security, we want to make sure that everybody is trained and everyone understands the new procedures, the new technology for campus security. The third one, this is considered a safety requirement just because we are trying to serve every type of student. We need to make sure that elevators, at least the necessary ones, are up and running and are reliable. So for this, we don't have a lot of money right now, but we definitely want to make sure that we are in line with ADA regulations. So we want to make sure that our students who are having a hard time, or students who are disabled, they are able to still make it to class and be a part of the campus. So we want to look at the ADA requirements and see how many elevators we need and where they should be located. And we also want to make sure that those are repaired first. So to back that up, our operations team, we will continue to service those elevators as much as we can. The other elevators that we don't need for ADA requirements, and we will be repairing those or replacing those when funds come available. So the fourth component in this first top priority of safety, we need to fix the building repairs that are needed right now. So for example, we have pretty terrible electrical issues in our current theater building. We don't have the funds to totally repair it right now, but we need to at least try our best to make it a safe place. So we're definitely not addressing all of the concerns of the theater building, but we at least need to get the electrical system safe. So that is my first top priority as the VP of Operations, and then I will continue to my second. So my second priority as the VP of Operations is to improve the comfort of students and improve the overall physical quality of campus. So in the case study, Middle State College has a lot of physical things going on that kind of makes campus unattractive. So, for example, broken furniture, again, the leaky roofs, graffiti, heating and cooling, yucky windows, all of those things. So again, I am assuming that my funds are still kind of low for this top priority, but we do need to make these changes so that students feel more comfortable on campus, and making these changes will also help other cabinet members meet their goals, such as enrollment goals, retaining students. So I'm really going to try to improve these things sooner rather than later. So first, within my priority of improving the comfort of students, improving the quality on campus, first I need to repair some broken furniture. So there are a lot of pieces of furniture that are broken, and in every kind of building on campus, student center, residence life, everywhere. So I'm going to try as much as possible to keep these repair projects in-house. Um, Try to repair the furniture that we have, and also try to involve students in this. Maybe students who are in an extracurricular activity for woodworking, students who are in engineering. If we have a workshop on campus, then helping students get involved. So this is kind of these benefits are benefiting me as a VP of operations, but also benefiting the student. We're getting the student involved in repairing campus, and kind of gives them more a feeling of ownership on their campus. So the second thing, at Middle State College, we are not really tech savvy, so we are missing internet in a lot of buildings. So this is kind of a gradual plan that will hopefully take in effect as funds become available. So we do want to prevent internet on campus. So again, going to be a gradual process. The first thing that I want to do as a VP of operations is to get internet installed at least in a library and student union building. So one way to cover this cost is involving a student technology fee, so involving the internet installation and the student technology fee. I am hoping to use the student technology fee to kind of fund each step in this process that's outlined in that timeline there. So first, again, making sure there's internet in the library and the student union building, central locations on campus, the hub of a lot of campus activities. We definitely want to make sure there's internet there for our students. The second, residence halls. So this is going to be a long process since we have many students and a couple different residence halls. So first, we're going to start off with the lobbies, just making sure their internet is covered, and then they can be in the comfort of their own residence hall while they're working in homework. At the same time, we are going to partner with a third-party company, kind of help them out by partnering with a local community business and bringing them into our plan. And we're also going to help students out by offering those third-party internet services to them. So students are going to have the opportunity to pay that third party to get internet installed into the residence hall. So in the third step, our whole goal would be that we provide internet in every single residence hall room on campus. Again, that's going to happen as funds become available. So the third step in this second top priority is just improving overall aesthetics on campus. I have proposed a campaign. It's called Clean Up Our Campus. This is going to boost faculty-student morale that's desperately needed on campus, by involving faculty and students in the improving aesthetics. So instead of hiring out new painting and removing graffiti, window washing, my hope is that by launching this campaign, by getting students and faculty and staff excited about this, they will kind of want to kind of put in their own sweat into this, some sweat equity, and then invest on their campus. So the first thing, we need to remove that graffiti. We need to wash the windows, give our buildings a fresh coat of paint, and repair our parking lots. So hopefully those things can be done at low cost, hoping that we have the involvement of students and maybe even community members. Community members as well could be a good asset to us. And then second, these are some of the things that will require some money, but we do want to improve the heating and cooling on campus. That is something in the case study that said the heating and cooling was described as like a comfort need on campus. So we thought as a VP of operations, it's not a total priority for safety reasons, but just for comfort. So we're going to do that as funds become available. Again, also repairing the leaky roofs. We know our buildings need repair and some good TLC, so we will do that as soon as funds become available for that as well. So my next slide is about my third top priority. So lastly, as a VP of operations, I do want to concentrate on growing that state capital. So again, in Middle State College, we have a lot of buildings that are in need of repair. We need new construction as our other cabinet members work on growing the student body. We will need buildings to keep up with that and to get people excited about campus. So I made this a third priority because the first two hopefully will gain attention of outside community members, will help the VP of advancement kind of reference our Clean Up Our Campus campaign and different improvements that we're making on campus. So we think that the funding options will come as people are seeing that we are making changes on our campus for the better, that improving our campus is important to us. So again, as a VP of operations, I am going to be working on building up our state capital construction funding. We know that extensive repairs need to be done on current buildings and new construction of buildings. So making sure we have this capital will help us do that. Secondly, to go along with that, as funds become available, as we are gaining steam, getting attention from everyone, community members, alumni, current student, faculty, and staff, I believe that we will have the funds to build up a good maintenance staff. So right now, maintenance staff, we are pretty low. We've already made cuts in the past to help alleviate some money issues. So as funds become available again, I will build up a good maintenance staff that will adequately meet our physical needs on campus.
Before you now are the top priorities that I have as the Vice President of Advancement, considering, of course, how they fit within the larger President's Plan. There is so much opportunity in this strategic plan to engage alumni. However, in order to move forward with any alumni engagement outside fundraising or creative ideas, we must first generate revenue to support these goals. As a result, my first priority would be the reinstatement of the football program. There are many ways in which this would benefit our advancement. First, as has been shown previously in many other institutions, athletics brings alumni and outside donors to campus. As they say, if you build it, they will come. And when they come, they will be able to see both the positives and negatives of our campus. This is where my opportunities come in. I can strategically utilize my staff and student employees to emphasize that despite the economic hardships we have faced, we are excelling in athletics, which is the reason why those alumni are here. And additionally, we are able to support an underserved population by focusing on Hispanic access and retention. Not only are we excelling in athletics, but we are improving upon the goals that education has. In addition, a successful program could garner an enhanced visual of MSC. We could gain national attention that would boost enrollments, donations, and alumni pride as people across the country recognize who MSC is. With both the enhanced visual and the campus presence of alumni, we could discuss with them the components of our strategic plan and how we are addressing the negative areas of the university and moving forward. We can instill pride in them again as they see the dedication that we have and hopefully encourage them to assist us in bringing MSC back to a place where the enrollments are soaring and students are succeeding. The football program is also an opportunity to recreate the relationships we once had with our students and former students. Thus, my recommendation would be to utilize the football stadium as a jumping-off point for an advancement plan around the idea of regaining some of that magic that MHC used to have and used to be known for, and still has in many pockets across the institution. Why else would we have such a dedicated faculty, staff, and students? This is where the next two components of my strategic plan come into play. we build relationships. We focus on the personal touch. One-on-one relationships between me and the alumni and our advancement staff. Particularly considering our HSI status and the family and relationship-oriented Latino culture, this could really get people excited. Our mission and vision support a more personal approach, as does our population. Instead of focusing on large donations, we can engage our alumni in service days and other ideas that would engage alumni who normally would not donate. They can give back and connect with the campus. In return, we save money by having volunteers help us with some of the aesthetic and safety concerns. Because the more sustained our relationships, the more likely the institution is sustained. The goal is the story of MSC, and I believe with that will come smaller donations with more consistency. This would provide us the ability to reactivate the currently inactive Alumni Association, and to utilize those alumni to reach across and slowly pull more and more people back in to invest in our amazing institution, whether it's with time or with money. We can then add in the third component and connect alumni with students and faculty and staff. We can organize mixers where they can meet our students and staff and faculty, create mentor relationships, provide the opportunity to guest lecture in their field at their alma mater, and hope that in turn they'll be more willing to offer internships to our students. We create a reciprocal relationship, connecting alumni, staff, faculty, cabinet, and students, and by doing so, we remember, recreate, revise, and represent our story, the story of MSC. As an alumni myself, I remember this campus fondly, and I know so many others that do as well. So let's take a more intimate approach and really connect people. Many small donations, whether time or money, or just the investment of our students and staff and alumni back together again, can still make a difference. And the more pride we can regain, the more pride we will have moving forward.
This is Kira, and I played the role of Vice President for Enrollment. My department's top priority is to increase enrollment in order to increase revenue. This falls in line with the campus's top priority of increasing revenue so that we have funds to address some of the other issues around campus. I have determined that there are 4 ways that my department can work to support this initiative. The first is during the financial review, we'll analyze our resources to make sure they're being used effectively. The main thing we'll be doing is looking at whether students are coming from places where recruiters are being sent. For example, if we have a recruiter traveling out of state, but only 1 or maybe no students coming from that state, then that is not a very good way to spend our money. In this case, we would cut that recruiting trip and try to focus more locally where travel is not quite as expensive and we might have better luck getting students. We can also look and see if students are coming from a place where recruiters are not being sent, and perhaps sending a recruiter there would get even more students. The second part of that would be to look at marketing and see if we can move more online to cut back on paper, printing, and mailing costs. We want to analyze whether our current marketing is effective and how it can be more effective, yet cut back on costs. The second thing we'll be doing is working with athletics to recruit a football team. We will not only want to recruit the football players, but we will want to promote that we will have a football team. Some students find attending college football games as an important part of their college experience, and so having a football team may attract some students who currently would pass us by. The third part that we'll be doing is improving our campus visit experience. The updates and improvements around campus will make a better impression upon prospective students. We'll make sure our tour guides are trained on what improvements are being made so they can share this information with prospective students. This includes pointing out updates that have already been made, as well as explaining some of what is coming down the line, so the student knows that perhaps by the time they're enrolled, something that may not look so good now or an amenity that's currently missing will be fixed or in place by the time they enroll. The second part of improving the campus visit, it will be conducting research to find out what prospective students most value on college campuses. This will help guide our decisions on what order to address some of the problems around campus. If we find out that a certain thing on campus is making students not want to attend, that may become a higher priority than we currently have it. The final area we will be working on is increasing enrollment among Hispanic students so that we can keep our status as a Hispanic serving institution. The first thing we'll do is increase visits to high schools with a large Hispanic population. Secondly, we will work with marketing to create materials that promote the fact that we are a Hispanic serving institution, including targeted marketing of special services and support for Hispanic students to all who apply and indicate on their application that they are Hispanic.
As the Vice President here at Middle State College, as the Vice President for Student Affairs,
As Vice President of External Affairs, it is my responsibility to work with the community and legislature to increase funding and to increase community support of Southwest State University. My first priority will be to create a community survey to examine how community members, community influencers, and area business leaders view Southwest State University, what improvements they would find a priority on campus, to identify university strengths. The board will use the survey as we begin to develop our overall strategic plan and as I begin to develop the strategic plan for my area. The second priority would be in encouraging the development of the football program and garnering community support. The program will increase community pride in the school and increase funding to the university. My third priority would be in finding ways to increase the physical quality of the campus, repairing roads and sidewalks, campus beautification projects, and graffiti removal. These changes would help to make the university an asset to the community and help with increasing community support. My fourth priority as Vice President of External Affairs would be to explore government funding options, working with the state legislature to try to increase school funding, exploring our options to hire work-study students and AmeriCorps members, along with various grant opportunities, for example, Hispanic Serving Institution grants and hazardous materials removal grants. The fifth priority will be to look at nonprofits in the area and community resources to see ways that they would be able to assist us as we work to improve our campus and ways that we could assist them, improving the way the community views our campus. My final priority would be to explore ways to generate extra income from members in the community. My idea would be to look into seeing if Southwest State University could create a fun continuing education course list for community members. This could include Italian cooking classes, pottery, things like that. And the cost of the courses would pay for faculty members to teach, but it would also help to generate income for the institution.
Hello, this is Pam as president again. To conclude our presentation, we wanted to illustrate what we believe is an integral component to our progress, our dedication to assessment. Each cabinet member has considered the most effective method of assessment for their particular query, of which recommendations are listed here. For enrollment, we plan on tracking overall progress both in regards to Hispanic and general student populations. We will assess the numbers at our census date and simultaneously evaluate student performance to determine if there is any evidence of attracting and retaining quality students. To assess the progress of campus safety, we plan on monitoring campus conditions and surveying student needs before and after strategic plan implementation. We believe assessing our campus climate before plan implementation can provide additional guidance to ensure success in improving morale and pride. We will administer this to all students, faculty, and staff. We also plan on utilizing focus groups as a method of assessment, both in determining students' needs and whether we are meeting them, to contribute to student retention, and also to gauge community support of various areas in the strategic plan. In considering our advancement plan, we hope to target our alumni based upon their interest as it matches to our institution's needs. We also plan on assessing the success of our advancement campaigns to ensure we are spending effectively and successfully. We hope to ensure that our alumni and outside donations increase as we implement our strategic plan. As a cabinet, we believe that every day we will make progress.